Now dear student, we are going to discuss question number 2.31, and in this question we have actually two part here. Clear? So first part is given to you. Two large conducting sphere carrying charges Q1 and Q2 are brought close to each other. Is the magnitude of electrostatic force between them exactly given by Q1 Q2 upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square. Now dear student, we know whenever we apply Coulomb's law, actually we assume charge is to be point charge. Clear? And when we can say when the size of an object is very small compared to distance between two objects, then we can treat that object as a point object and the charge given to that point object is point charge. Clear? So now we can say when distance between these two spheres is decreasing, at that time we can say Coulomb's law of electrostats comes into picture. Clear? So now we can say, can we apply Coulomb's law here? No, because now we cannot treat sphere as a point charge. Clear? So now we can say here that this statement is wrong. Clear to you? This statement is wrong. Now if we talk about statement number 2, if Coulomb's law involved 1 upon r cube dependence instead of 1 upon r square, now we have to find Gauss law is still true or not. Clear? So now actually we know according to Gauss law, we can say finite, this is given by integral of E dot dA. Yes or no? Clear? Now actually we know, let's suppose we are assuming a sphere. Clear? Let's suppose radius of that sphere is small r. Clear? So we can say, we can write like this. If we talk about electric field at surface of this sphere, we can say this is equal to kq upon r square. Clear? Now let's suppose I am taking here a very small area dA, and this dA vector is also in this direction, and let's suppose electric field. If we talk about direction of electric field, this is also in this direction if we have positive charge on this sphere. Yes or no? So now we can say, we can write like this, this is dA, and we have angle between E and dA, this is equal to 0. Yes or no? So we can say, we can write like this, kq 1 upon r square multiply 4 pi r square. Clear to you? Yes or no? Now this is happened when we are saying that electric field is actually varying by 1 upon r square. But in this question it is given to you if Coulomb's law involved 1 upon r cube. At that time we can say here it is given that the electric field, we can say electric field here, it is actually going to vary with r cube. Clear? And we can say here we have surface area dA. So if we add dA, so we can say this is equal to 4 pi r square. Clear? So now you can write like this. If we write here this is r cube, and here you can write this is 4 pi r square. Clear? From here we can say this one and this one cancel out, but important part here we have this is equal to kq, and we can say here we are getting value 4 pi by r. Clear? Actually if I am writing here integration is already over, because we have already write here this is 4 pi r square. Clear? So now you can say if we are talking about net flux is now depending on r. Clear? So now we can say, now electric field is varying according to 1 upon r cube, we can say Gauss law is now not valid. Clear? So Gauss law is only valid whenever force Coulomb's law, that is having the inversely relationship with the square of a distance between 2 point charges. Clear to everyone? Yes. So this is all about this question. Now dear student, we are going to discuss part number C of 2.31. Clear? In this question it is given to you, a small test charge is released at rest at a point in an electrostatic field configuration. Will it travel along the field line passing through that point? Now listen carefully. Let's suppose here we have a charge, and let's suppose we are placing that charge in an electric field. Clear? So let's suppose this is a straight line, or let's suppose this is electric lines of forces. We are placing a charge, test charge, in an electric field like this. So this is E. Clear? Now we know when electric field in this direction, definitely we can say this charge will move in this direction. So we can say at that time a test charge is actually moving in the direction of electric field lines. But it is always possible? No. Clear? Why? Let's suppose we have electric field lines like this. This is zigzag electric field. Clear? Now we know if we draw tangent at any point on these electric field lines, definitely it represents the direction of velocity. Yes or no? So actually we can say whenever we are talking about a force, this is acting on that charge, test charge, we can say this electric field line shows only the direction of, we can say direction of acceleration. Clear? But direction of acceleration is different from direction of velocity. Clear to you? That's why we can say this statement is also wrong. Clear? A small test charge is released at rest at a point in an electrostatic field configuration. Will it travel along the field line passing through that point? No, it is not possible in every situation. Only in one condition you can say, when the particle is moving in a straight line and electric field is also uniform. At that condition you can say this is possible, otherwise this is not. Clear to you? Yes. Now if we discuss about part number 4. Yes. So if we talk about part number D, what is work done by field of a nucleus in a complete circular orbit of electron? Clear? So actually what is happening? Let's suppose this is circular loop. Here we have nucleus. This is nucleus. Clear? Let's suppose here we have electron and this electron is revolving around nucleus. Clear to you? So now we can say electron is going in this direction. Clear to you? Okay. Now we have to find what is work done what is the work done by electrostatic field on an electron. So now we can see here a force of attraction, this is acting between nucleus and electron. So we can say this is known as electrostatic force. Clear to you? Now we know direction of velocity in this direction. So now we can say displacement of electron in this direction of a v, or we can say electrostatic force is acting along a radius or towards the center. It means we can say this electrostatic force, it is behaving like a centripetal force. Clear? So now we can say displacement and the force this is acting, it is at 90 degree to each other. Clear? So we can say this is equal to 90 degree. So if we talk about work done, net work done we can say this is Fe dot, we can say let's suppose displacement is d. Clear? Now we know here the angle between Fe and d, this is 90 degree. So we can write like this, this is equal to Fe d cos 90. So whenever path is a circular, we can say net work done we have 0. Yes or no? Now next part is given to you, if what will happen if the orbit becomes elliptical. Clear? So when orbit becomes elliptical, what will happen? So let us try to understand. Yes. Let's suppose if we can say, let's suppose if the path becomes elliptical like this. Clear? Let's suppose here we have nucleus and let's suppose here we have electron. So at that time definitely we can say electrostatic force is acting in this direction, but at this time displacement of this electron in this direction, and we know at every point we are having a different angle between displacement and the force acting. Yes or no? So we can say work done at any point we will not find 0, but in a closed loop you always find net work done is 0. Clear to you? So this is the answer, this is the explanation of part number D. Clear to everyone? Now we are going to discuss part number E. In this part it is given to you, electric field is discontinuous across the surface of a charged conductor. Yes, actually we know if we talk about a hollow spherical conductor, so inside hollow spherical conductor we can say electric field is 0. Yes or no? But what about outside? Outside we know this is equal to kq upon r square. Clear? It means we can say on the surface, if we talk about point, that is inside the surface, means we can say radius, the value of r is less than capital R. Clear? We always find E equal to 0, and outside sphere we can say E is always kq upon r square. It means we can say there is some discontinuity of electric field we will find in a conductor. Yes or no? But what will happen? What will happen if we are talking about electric potential? So electric potential is always remain constant, either we are talking about surface or we are talking about at any point this is inside a conductor. Yes or no? So always remember, my dear students, electric field is 0 in a conductor. Inside any conductor electric field is 0, but what about potential? Potential always remains same, and this value should be equal to kq by capital R. Clear to everyone? So we can say we will not find any discontinuity regarding electric potential. Clear to you? Now we are going to discuss here part number F. What meaning would you give to capacitance of a single conductor? Now if we talk about single conductor means what? Let's suppose we have one plate and this is single conductor, but we are talking about capacitance. So we know for the capacitance we need at least two plates. Yes or no? So we can assume one plate at infinity. Clear? So now we can say whenever it is given to you single conductor, it means one plate is situated at this position, another plate is situated at infinity. Clear to you? So this is all about this question. Guess a possible reason why water has a much greater dielectric constant. So why water is having much greater dielectric constant? Actually we know, if we talk about structure of a water molecule, we know the structure is given by like this. It is having 6 outermost electron and 1 electron we can see that is shared by hydrogen. Clear? Like this. So now we can say octet of hydrogen and oxygen both is completed. Clear? So we can say actually we have here a strong bond. Clear? Or we can say due to this structure of H2O, we can say H2O is having a high dipole moment. The value of dipole moment related to H2O molecule is very, very large. Clear? That's why we can say the dielectric constant of water is 80. Compared, we can say the value of dielectric constant is very high compared to dielectric constant of mica. Clear? So this is all about theoretical aspect. Yes, but at least you should know that water is having dielectric constant more. Why? Because its dipole moment value is very, very high. Clear to everyone? So this is all about this question.